Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It is Sunshine Lorena and this is going to be my first TBR of 2023. Hi guys! First of all, if you are a returning viewer, you'll notice that my intro have changed. New intro for 2023. Yes, I know this video is up in December 2022, but this is the first video content of 2023, so I thought why not just start off with my new intro. So let me know what you think. I thought I'd just switch it up, a little bit of fun. Okay, so TBR video. What I'm gonna do this year, I've decided to change things in 2023 in terms of TBR. I'm not going to do like the jar every single month. It may return one month during the year, I don't know yet, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to be randomizing my TBR every single month, so doing something different, picking it in a different way. And I've seen other booktubers doing this and I think it's a really fun way just to switch up every single month rather than doing the same thing over and over again. Now, today's one, I'm going to be using an emoji generator. I'm going to use the emoji to help me pick a book. So I got this idea from What Victoria Read. She did this, I believe it was November's TBR. She's one of the booktubers that I watch and she randomizes it with different ideas. And I saw it and I was like, that's really fun. I'm gonna give it a go. So that's the first one. So thank you, Victoria, for doing that video. It gave me the idea. Let me know if you have any ideas for other ways to randomize my TBR. I do have some other ones, but yes, let me know any fun ideas so that I can do that. Before we use the emoji generator and I get into the details of exactly how I'm going to do it, there is a readathon that I'm going to be taking part in January, and that is Mixtape Readathon. It's the winter edition. So they started back in summer, they've done an autumn one, and now they're doing the winter one. And it's a really fun, relaxing readathon. It's very chill. There are self-care prompts and you also have your book prompts, and you can double up, triple up, quadruple up. One of which is always a free space as well. So it's very, very chill. And I think it's just a really great way to start January, and it's going to be running the 15th to the 29th, I believe. I'll leave a link to the announcement video from Literary Diversion so you can go and watch it if you're interested in it. But it's going to be running over Blue Monday, which is like the saddest day of the year. So I think that's a really good idea. So I have kind of worked out my mixtape readathon TBR already, and I will do it after the emoji generator, and I'm hoping some of the emojis might kind of help me fit in like one or two of those books, because you know, it's January, the first month of the year, you know, less pressure in terms of reading, but also nothing happens in January, so I have more time to read, so it's a bit of a, yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so now in terms of the emoji generator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it run 5 emojis, which I'm going to pick 5 books for. However, I am going to allow myself one veto. So if one of the emojis is like really obscure and I cannot fit a book into it, then I will allow myself to run it again and I'll be able to choose one of those emojis for a book, okay? And that's what I'm allowing myself, because you know, we need a little bit of leeway in this. What I'm going to be trying to do in 2023 as well is read books I actually own. So I've been doing this on my TikTok. I've been doing like some little like mini vlogs of reading books I actually own. But that's from my physical TBR, like from my physical collection of books. It's Sunshine Lorena if you ever want to go and check that out. But what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to try my absolute best to read books I actually own. So the ones, the physical ones and the Kindle ones. But I also have Scribd and I also have Kindle Unlimited at the moment as well. And I still have some Audible ones to go through. So those also included. They're like owned or like borrowing, that's fine. I'm going to be filming a goals video for 2023, so I'll go into more detail about what my thoughts are into that, but I am trying my absolute best to actually read books that I own. So I feel like this is an extremely long intro, so let's just run this random generator. I'm going to record my screen so I cannot be accused of cheating, so let's go for this. So we want 5 emojis. Let's randomize. Okay, it's like the triangle with the, I'm going to stop recording, sorry. Triangle with an exclamation point, like kind of like warning. The next one is like some sort of like tool. I don't know what to call that thing. It's like a tool of some sort. An explanation point, calendar, and like party emoji. I'm gonna need some time to think this one through and I'll come back to you. So guys, I've more or less picked the books. However, I am struggling with like the party celebration emoji. I've had a look and I can't see a book that I have that not necessarily involves really a party or some sort of celebration. I mean, I'm sure most books do have like some sort of like birthday celebration or something in it, but honestly, I'm struggling. So I'm gonna veto that one, guys, and we're gonna run this again. I'm gonna do my screen recorder, run it again for 5 emojis, and one of these, I will find a book for one of them, okay? I will. So let's just do this, randomize. Okay, so we have a family. It looks like 2 men and a child. The camera emoji, like film camera emoji, a mouse, a cross, and a printer. Interesting. I'm sure I will find something for this. Okay guys, I have worked it out. I've done it. I've picked books, okay. So let's get into this. So the triangle with the exclamation point, like, you know, like warning, warning. I've decided to choose Shiver by Ali Reynolds. Now this is a thriller. It was her debut, I believe. And this is set in the French Alps. So there's a group of friends, 5 I believe, decide to have a reunion. They are snowboarders, if I remember correctly from the synopsis, they're snowboarders. It's an off-season invite. They decide to go and have a reunion and see each other again. What happens is when they arrive, the cable cars are shut down, it's very remote, and there's like a storm looming as well, a snowstorm looming. When they get to the hotel, there is like a icebreaker game waiting for them. However, this icebreaker game reminds them of the 6th member of the group who went missing before their last competition. The game is decided to draw out the secrets amongst the group. Because of the snowstorm, they end up getting stranded, I believe, and it ends up being like a locked mystery thriller book. And because of the storm, they end up getting stranded there, and somebody's definitely decided to get them trapped there to try and find out what happened to that 6th member of the group. So that is why I used this one, because warning, warning, snowstorm, they're getting stranded, but also warning, warning, you're locked in a place, like a locked room mystery with somebody who's quite clearly trying to, I don't know, doesn't have good intention, so we did it. Now the next one was some sort of like tool, and I don't know what that is called, sorry. I'm going to tell you what I've picked, and once I go through the synopsis, hopefully you'll realise why I chose this book. Yes, I am stretching a little bit, but you know, that's what prompts are made for, to be stretched. So I've chosen Same Page, A Love Story by Hannah J. Now she is on Instagram as Library Goblin. I follow her and she has self-published this book. It's a romance novel, in case you didn't guess, and it's recently been published. You can actually buy the paperback, or it's also on Kindle. You can buy the paperback, or it's also on Kindle Unlimited. I have Kindle Unlimited at the moment, so I'm gonna give it a go, read it. I saved it as soon as I saw that she did it because I thought this sounds really good and interesting. So I'm gonna take you through the synopsis, and like I said, I will explain why I've chosen this one. So one night, one drunken mistake could change everything. History teacher and most boring man alive, Keshava Patel, is having a thoroughly underwhelming 30th birthday until he sees her, or rather hears her. Paige is loud and funny, fascinating and easy in the eye, and Kesh is interested. It's been such a long time since he was interested. Tonight could be the start of something, he thinks. Yet the morning after, he can't even look her in the eye. He doesn't think he'll ever be able to look her in the eye again. Sunny, sentimental Paige McAllister has a big bod, a big mouth, and even bigger heart. In small town English pub, she runs into Kesh, someone she met once, a lifetime ago. He's her opposite, sweet and laid back, and he's gorgeous even if he's the kind of moody. What was that? Is he flirting with me? Paige wakes the next morning, groggy but giddy in his bed, but he's acting strange. As last night starts to come back to her, she realises that something isn't right. She's forgetting something. What happened last night? A few weeks later, when Paige's car breaks down and she accidentally calls Kesh in the panic, he comes to her rescue. They strike a deal. Kesh will drive Paige to and from work until her car is fixed, if Paige helps him clear out and pack up a friend's house. And so they begin to spend time together, just as friends, because that's what we are now, just friends, right? So it definitely sounds like it's going to be like a friends to lovers type romance. Now, I chose this because her car obviously breaks down. The car needs to be fixed. They need to use tools to fix cars, and that is why I chose it. It is my prompt to stretch. I'm stretching it. Okay, and the next one was the explanation point, and I have chosen A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. Now, first of all, this cover, gorgeous, stunning. I bought this during Black Friday on the Waterstones just to get those double stamps, but the cover honestly attracted me. I read the synopsis in it, love it, amazing. So okay, so I've chosen this one. Explanation, again, it's kind of like a bit of like when you say something like a warning, like anything like, you know, big, you have an explanation at a point just to emphasize something. Okay, this roll with me on this one. But because this involves like poison, like there is like murder, so I'll get into the synopsis and then we'll discuss how I've stretched this, because I have stretched it. I'm just gonna read the full synopsis on the back so I don't miss any details. So for Ning, the only thing worse than her losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her, the poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister Shu. When Ning hears of a competition to find the greatest masters of the ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive receive a favour from the princess which may be Ning's only chance to save her sister's life. But between the backstabbing competitors, bloody court politics, and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning's life might actually be the one more in danger. So explanation point like emphasises things, doesn't it? Like if you say warning, like if you're writing something like warning, explanation point in the end. It's poisonous, like poison killed her, I don't know, like do you know what I mean? It emphasizes it. I'm just using it because like there's so many things that like explanation point, she accidentally poisoned her mother and killed her. Her sister's gonna die of the same thing now. You know, there's about apparently like competition, backstabbers, you know, lots of things, guys. I stretched it, but I really wanted to read this, so I made it work best as I can. Okay, so the next one was a calendar and it said July 17th. I kind of just went with calendar mostly for this one, but I've actually managed to use the 17th but not July because it's very specific. Otherwise, you know, I wasn't going to find anything for this, but I made it work. So calendar means like, you know, for me, I interpret this as, you know, something needs to be done by a certain date. You have the date on the calendar and it needs to be done. You know, you need to mark that off on the calendar. You know, what I've chosen is a book that I have from NetGalley that's publishing on the 26th of January. So I have to have it read before the 26th of January so I can publish a review. So I have a deadline, you know, the date is on the calendar to read this one. I'm really proud of myself of how I'm stretching these. But I have chosen The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. Now this one has already been published in 2022. However, I believe it's the paperback that's coming out in January. So sometimes they do this where publishers, they'll put it again on NetGalley to kind of generate a bit of a buzz, get more reviews out there. And I read the synopsis and then requested it. This was before Goodreads Choice Awards came out, otherwise I would have like noticed it then. But I hadn't heard about it, but it sounds so good. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good and fun one. Again, this is another fantasy. I seem to have quite a bit of fantasy on my TBR this month, but I do want to pick up more fantasy because I have really enjoyed the ones I read in 2022. This is inspired by 1001 Nights. Also kind of gives me a little bit of Aladdin vibes, kind of, some of how it links in. But yes, so basically this is following a tale of a legendary smuggler, a cowardly prince, and a dangerous quest across the desert to find a magical lamp. So our main character is Louis, and she's the midnight merchant, a criminal who, with the help of her gym bodyguard, hunts and sells illegal magic. When she saves the life of a cowardly prince, she draws the attention of his powerful father, the Sultan, who blackmails her into finding an ancient lamp. With no choice but to obey or be executed, Louis journeys with the Sultan's older son to find the artifact. Aided by her bodyguard, who has his secrets of his own, they must survive ghoul attacks, outwit a vengeful Jinn Queen, and confront a malicious killer from Louise's past. In a world where the story is reality and an illusion is truth, Louise will discover that everything, her enemy, her magic, even her own past, is not what it seems, and she must decide who she'll become in this new reality. It sounds so good, so fun, interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's really odd for me to be reading so many fantasy books in January because normally I have a very like thriller horror month, but we'll see how it pans out. Okay, now the last one, as you know, I had to, you know, limit one emoji and do a rerun. The emoji I chose from the rerun emojis is the cross, okay? And the book that I matched with it, and I'm really proud of how I have linked this together, is Babel by Arif Kwan. I first of all read the Poppy War series this year, this year at the very start of the year, and absolutely loved it. I got this again, I got this with a gift voucher my friends got me for my birthday, but I bought it in November, October, I can't remember, and I've been wanting to read it and I've just not got into the TBR. So how does this link to the cross, you may ask? So Babel, as in Babel, there is the Tower of Babel, which is in the Bible in Genesis. This is obviously called Babel and it does feature a tower. And there is elements from this that kind of plays into what the Tower of Babel is. So that's how I've linked the cross because, you know, cross, Bible, Christianity, Babel Tower. So I was really pleased with myself how I made that work. So this one, the synopsis is, an act of translation is always an act of betrayal. Oxford, 1836. The city of dreaming spires, it is the centre of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart, Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation. The tower from which all the power of the empire flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by mysterious guardian, Robin Swift thought Babel was a paradise, until it became a prison, but can a student stand against an empire? It's supposed to have like dark academia vibes. I'm just looking forward to it. I loved the Poppy War series and Arifquan's writing style, character development, morally grey characters, which I'm hoping's in this. So yes, I'm really looking forward to this one. So that is it from my emoji TBR. And now I'm going to quickly take you through my mixtape readathon TBR. So I'll just take you through the reading prompts. Like I said, there are some self-care prompts, which I'll do throughout the readathon. I think I might film a vlog because I tend to do that when I do readathons. I'll see how I feel because I have already started to plan out my content, but hopefully I'll do that. So the first prompt, new to you author, and I have chosen Same Page, A Love Story by Hannah J because she is a new author to me. So worked out well. I've managed to at least, you know, so I managed to get that on my other TBR, which is good, so I'm not overloading myself. The next prompt is indie self-published small press book to support, you know, smaller publishing houses, indie publishing houses, or any self-pub ones, and you guessed it. I've chosen Same Page, A Love Story by Hannah J. You are allowed to double, triple up, etc. on the readathon, and it does make it a lot easier. Even if it's running for 2 weeks, I again don't want to overload myself with 20 books to read. Then the next one is Setting as a Plot, and I decided to choose Shiver by Ali Reynolds. So yes, another one that I managed to get my other TBR. So I chose this because obviously the whole point of this is they're in a ski resort, there's snow everywhere, there's a snowstorm which traps them in this situation, with this person obviously trying to find out what happened to this other person who disappeared. So the snow is really a part of the plot. So that's what they said, it could be part of the plot, it could be a character, and the snow really is a big part of the plot because it's what creates this locked room mystery, because they are trapped there. So I did it. So there we go. The next one is Revisit a Book or Author, and I've chosen Your Place or Mine by Portia McIntosh. This is another art collector from NetGalley. It's publishing in January on the 17th. So this will be the first book that I will pick up on the readathons. I get it read in time. It should be a really quick, fast-paced book. It's a romance. I have read one of her books before, and that was the +1 Pact. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, they're just really fast-paced books, which is really good, and it's exactly what I needed. So the synopsis is this one. So Serena gets kicked out of her flat, and she gets an offer from her friend to do some house sitting for them while her and her husband is off travelling, which helps her obviously with their housing situation. But unfortunately, Serena isn't the only one who received this offer to do the house sitting. Enter Ziggy. He is arrogant, messy, and annoyingly handsome musician and friend of her friend's husband. So obviously this isn't an ideal situation for Serena to be in, living with this other man, especially since he claims the best room. Has loud parties. The least said about his kitchen manner, the better. There is just one solution for Serena: drive him out of the house by being twice as difficult to live with than he is. But Ziggy knows Serena's game, and as war ensues between them, they're forced together under one roof and may result in unexpected consequences. So it's giving me kind of, it's going to be enemies to lovers type vibe, and I'm here for it. Like I said, I really liked the +1 Pact. Her books are really good, quick. They are always British. They're British romances, which you don't find that much either. They tend to be American, but I like her writing style. I'm looking forward to it. And then the very last reading prompt for Mixtape Readathon is a free choice. So any of the other books will tick off this prompt for me. If by some miracle I have time, I will read another book, but I think what I'll do is just tick off another book on that one. So that means in total I have 5 books on my TBR for January. So I think I've done well to make them work across 2 TBRs there. 5 is a really manageable number, so hopefully it works out well for me and I get through these. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you've taken part in Mixtape Readathon. Comment, like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.